So hello, welcome to the Donny Chaingang. Welcome to the Full Speed Event Studios. A very empty studios behind me, so to stop it echoing quite as much, and more importantly, to give you some top quality content from the person who stitched together the WoW DCG. It's Emma.
Hey, good to be with you this evening for the last one, Matt.
It is indeed the last WoW DCG of the season. Can't believe I'm saying that.
I know.
And we've got record numbers just about on as well. Well, not record numbers, but record numbers for the back end of the season. Normally it gets quieter and quieter. It's got busier and busier, which is brilliant. So thank you for joining us. If you are on that start line, and you can see our riders, they're just over Emma's shoulder. Just there. You can see people are on the start line already saying they can't believe it is the last online one. Remember, there will be some real meetups out in the world. That's going to be happening. Keep your eyes on the Facebook page for that. Now, Emma, this is the last one. It's also the last one of Nonnas, and I know you're a big fan of Nonnas, and it's always a big welcome from the guys there.
It is, absolutely, and we are indeed going to have a draw tonight as well, Matt, for the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club with that monthly Nonnas draw tonight, so watch out for that. But Nonnas is indeed one of my most favourite spots to head to in Sheffield.
It is indeed, and of course we are going to have a draw. We've been giving away £50 vouchers going to members of the DCG gang. That is the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, and it's really, really important, the people who have joined, that we say thank you. And one way of doing that is to give them a slap-up meal. Head out, £50 voucher. We have, of course, discounts for all the members as well, 20% discount. And next month, it's going to be one of the people that you can see just up over there. They are going to be back, and they're going to be with some great discounts and some great giveaways as well. To say thank you to the members in April, last month of the DCG, before we take that summer break on the way through. So really looking forward to seeing who that's going to be. I know who it is, but when I put the logos on, you'll all know as well. It's that simple. So don't forget, these guys keep the show rolling. They look after the people who donate, and a massive thank you if you have donated. Now, Emma, we have got a cracking course. Should we dive into the course?
Yeah,
let's have
indeed.
a look at the route out there.
Take a look where we're going for the last time this season. So we are heading to Crit City. We have a 1.1 kilometre lead in. We then do 18 laps of the Bell Lap course on Crit City, which will give us a finish at 36.1 kilometres tonight. Now, bear in mind that we'll say on the countdown banner on Crit City, 1 lap to go, because that 1 lap to go is your warm down this evening. So 19 laps in total, but 18 count for the WoW DCG tonight. That final lap is warm down. And
it doesn't sound like there's a lot of elevation when we say there's only 17 metres a lap, but it adds up to 306 metres. So if we jump from our Zwift Hacks map across to our Velo Viewer profile, you can see that this is actually going to be a really interesting route, because we go out from the start, we take a U-turn around what is traditionally the finish, we climb up gradually, but we then have a steep drop down on the way down. That is going to be a very interesting run in and through for the riders. We'll see whether or not the group stays together. They're going to be under the command of our yellow and red beacons. Emma, our yellow beacon first of all.
Yeah, our yellow beacon tonight is Izzy Torrey. So thank you to Izzy for running under that yellow beacon for the last time this season. Izzy from the Tactic UK race team, also racing on Zwift for Aeonian.
And our red beacon, of course, is a bit of a legend. It is, of course, the one and only
Miss Cookie. We couldn't finish without her.
Indeed not. And as you can see, Sarah, a fan of the muddy stuff as well as the dark stuff that you might be imbibing at the end of the gang. I will be popping a bottle of champagne, I think, towards the end or after the end of the broadcast to celebrate what's been a cracking season. On the way through, we will have our giveaway, and our giveaway is for Nonnas. You can see already just down there we have the random number generator rolling. So this is a number that allocated to each of our members. When we press stop, it'll stop at a number. That'll be whoever's going to be getting that £50 voucher. But let's dive across with the ride as the riders start to make their way out from the start line. Here on the gang, we're going to jump in with Annika, who had a really great debut on the ride. And great to see Annika back in and riding.
Yeah, absolutely. And our yellow beacon just reminding you of the late join that we have on the WOW DCG. So if you have a difficulty off the start, if you are late in from work and you're still panicking to get attached to your phone at the moment, don't worry, you've got 30 minutes to join and it will drop you straight in with the gang.
And key with the gang, of course, stay around yellow basically until that trigger point. That trigger is 3 times the same word. So really important to remember the idea to stay around that yellow beacon until we get the words from our yellow beacon to disappear off down the road. Let's dive in with our yellow beacon. Let's take a quick check. You can see that Izzy at the moment in the yellow beacon in that Ionian kit.
Yeah, and there is only one rule, and that one rule is stay around yellow until the magic 3 words.
Indeed. Remember, our yellow will not go chasing you if you've headed off down the road. The aim is to keep everybody together until that point. Very tricky on this course for our riders to do that, particularly when we've got quite a lot of riders. Those regulars, don't forget we might have some new riders on there. If you are a regular, make sure that you stay in with the riders and stay with that yellow beacon, set the example, and then everybody can follow on from that. Just going to dive in with Miss Cookie. This is our red beacon for tonight. Miss Cookie on a very fast bike tonight, which hopefully will mean that she's able to give a little bit of help to people as they need it.
Yeah, absolutely. And also not forgetting there, you can log on to YouTube onto the Downing Cycling channel and pick up this commentary. If we've got any new riders with us tonight, welcome. It's great to see you, and it's looking like Cookie is doing her job there, Matt, just patrolling the back of that group and keeping everybody there or thereabouts.
I think just waiting to pick up Postlethwaite, who's just off the back. So Sharon Postlethwaite just going to be making her way up, going to be charging on. Maybe the case Sharon may well want to dive out and dive back in again. Great to see we've got some returning riders who've been here plenty of times before. Got a teammate of Izzy, and in fact of yours, the one and only Claire Richardson in here. Claire, one of our regular fastest finishers on the DCG.
Yeah, so it's great to see the different squads coming back and out for the final WOW DCG of the season, Matt. We've got a number of Ionian riders in with us tonight. I think we've got a number of Tactic UK riders in with us this evening. And I think I've saw some of the, well, you can see quite a few different squads actually. Fear are in here too. And so are Coalition. So welcome to everybody joining us this evening.
Indeed, so just in with Laura Cheeseman here from the Tactic UK Women's Race Team. Did we mention they've got a rather natty jersey? If you haven't seen it, make sure you do have a look and check it out. It is a very, very natty jersey indeed. And thank you very everybody who voted yes in the online poll. If you don't know what we're talking about, make sure you give Tactic UK WRT a follow. Remember, all the squads only exist because you help them. Just literally by clicking on their Instagram feed, by following them, by increasing the numbers, just like Full Speed Events. We rely on you clicking onto the feed, onto the Instagram feeds. That then means that we know how many people got following us. We can use that in terms of leveraging rewards for the members of the DCG gang. So big circle, and it does all come around again. So we are coming up to the end of lap number 1. You can just see our riders going in underneath the banner at the moment. Remember, it now says 18 laps to go. That includes
the warm down lap.
Indeed. We have the finish is at 1 lap to go. A reminder, the finish of the ride where you're sprinting for at the end is at 1 lap to go. Shall I say that again?
I think we might say that a number of times.
Do you know what? Shall we? At the end of the race, the end of the ride, the end of the sprint is at 1 lap to go. The end of the ride, the end of the race is at 1 lap to go.
Where is it, Matt? I think it might be 1 lap to go.
1 lap to go.
Because there is a 1 lap warm down at the end of the event tonight.
There is indeed, and there always is on Donny Chaingang. It's something we've always put in there. It gives us the opportunity to make sure that everybody does their warm down and can chat on the way round. Stay in the world afterwards, stay in Crit City afterwards and chat, talk cake, and I've gone and done it, haven't I? How long in is it? And I've mentioned the word cake.
We're not even 5 minutes in.
I know. I've broken the rule. Don't talk about cake till 20 minutes. There you go. Right, having a quick little check at the back here. Looks like Postlethwaite charging up the hill, trying to get back in with the group. Miss Cookie just keeping an eye, I think, on Cole. And already typing, I did indeed do it. Joanne Lee there saying, I did indeed say the word cake. I've got it on my mind actually today. I've really fancied a massive, massive, massive slice of pecan and coffee cake.
Pecan and coffee? It's normally coffee and walnut.
No,
Oh,
no.
come on, get your
pecan.
cake right.
That is the right cake. I just not just you haven't cooked it, make it, had it, eaten it, consumed it. Okay. So this course really, really tough for the riders. You can see as you go over the roller coaster, as it breaks up, it then splits even more on the centre. I can't imagine who chose a route like this.
Well, do you know, and actually the thing is, Matt, about this route is about discipline. This route is about discipline and it's about technique, because it's about managing your watts, managing your cadence, and being able to stay with the group, because we need to stay with that yellow beacon and follow the yellow beacon's instructions to get a ramped workout before those 3 magic words.
Indeed, and I'll be brutally honest, the group is looking pretty good in there. It's not going uber mad. Great. Oh, do you know what? We've got Ursula Jordan back in as well. Welcome back, Ursula. Good to see you. We've got lots of riders who we might not have seen for a while, because there has been a bit of racing going on as well, hasn't there?
Yeah, so the Tuesday night ZRL is now complete. So welcome if you've been busy on a Tuesday night and your legs haven't felt up to coming out and joining us on the WOW DCG on a Wednesday. But welcome to our regulars as well, who have been with us all season.
And do you know who's in this group here? The one and only, in a change of kit, Joe Blackburn.
Can anybody beat Joe Blackburn?
We do streaming on...
Sorry, Joe, no pressure or anything.
Yeah, we do some streaming on another platform for racing, and which might have $1 million prize fund championship coming up. And on that, there was a mission to beat Michael Vink, who has subsequently turned professional on the World Tour circuit. And it was basically became a beat Michael Vink mission on there. But then when Vink has moved to the World Tour Series, it's now beat Michael Knudsen.
Yes,
on
but
there.
they did actually manage to beat Michael Vink before he left for a pro contract.
Indeed. Well, are we going to beat Joe
Yeah,
Blackburn?
but then Joe Blackburn leaves for a pro contract.
Joe's been beaten. She has, I'm sure.
Sammy Stewart, I think, picked her on the line once, but that may be a very difficult memory moment for me.
It's a very difficult memory moment for me as well.
Well,
I've lost count. I love the fact that Joe Blackburn is saying, "Yep, they can."
Belief, Joe, belief.
Yeah, there's clearly somebody. Good to get Claire Crabtree in here from the collective. Vicky Jones in. Is it going to be Vicky's day? I mean, Vicky must be the rider who must be due like loads of wins, because she's been right in there. But there's always been a Sammy Stewart or a Joe Blackburn in the way, I think.
Well, I think for some of our riders, there's always been a Tuesday race in their legs.
That is very true. It could be interesting when people don't have that race in their legs.
Yeah.
In there. Do you know who's on here that I'm really, really pleased to say? It is the one and only Emily Britson.
Oh, fresh off of some enduro mountain biking and downhill. I've been watching those pictures, Emily. Oh my goodness. Skills, skills, skills.
Handy on a road bike, good on Zwift, and
Epic on a mountain bike.
and good fun as well.
Yeah, she's a right lady.
Yeah, you can say that.
I can, because I have ridden with her quite regularly on a mountain bike out in the Peak District.
Yeah, look at you. Look at you. I'm not sure what I was doing. It was probably sort of, being transport or something. I know my place. Right, let's take a little bit of a look. Come on, Annika. Get into the back of that group. We've got quite a number of riders on there. You've got to sit on to the wheels. Foxy shouting, get on the wheels. Foxy is... I'm trying to think of the right word here for Foxy. Foxy, please don't be offended.
She has the biggest wardrobe of matching cycling kit I have ever seen. She even beats my sister.
Yes, that takes some doing, believe me. I think Foxy is the equivalent. I mean, who was it who was on the show that every time they came out on the show, on the show, there was a costume change, and it was a new costume, and a costume change, a new costume. That is Foxy.
It's like Madonna. A new costume every song, but not quite as radically costumed as Madonna.
Should we move on?
Foxy is cool, I agree, Tracy. She is.
100% cool. And look at this. This is how cool she's gone back to give Annika a hand. I think we're also seeing a few of the Coalition squad. Look at this. Annika's from the Coalition. She's on with Foxy. You've got Saskia dropping back. You have got Nielsen coming back as well. So that's Becca coming back. So Becca Nielsen going back with Foxy and Saskia for Annika to pace back on. This is brilliant. And look at that. Let's get on there. Hook up ties 4. Brilliant. That's what we want. It's all about helping each other.
Teamwork is dreamwork.
It is indeed. Now, we have got E. Gilbert. Now, this is Emma on here, Emma Gilbert. We also regularly have the Electric Spirit Squad headed by Ailish Gilbert and Hohen Gilbert. Ailish not with us this time round. She did say she wanted to be here. Unfortunately, Ailish not able to be here because she's got herself a new job.
It's terrible when
on the new job. However, yeah, work interfering with the with the WoW DCG. But there you go. It does happen, unfortunately. But totally understand. You know, if you get back late, then you never know. You can jump on a late joiner. I'm not sure whether or not with a new job that would be the wisest move going into work after a WoW DCG on your first week and go, oh yeah, I don't really want to do any work, so I'm absolutely shattered. I'm sure she won't do that anyway. Right, a few riders trying to get back on. Just taking a look here at Miss Cookie, who I think is looking for those riders behind. I think it's going to be Cole, Figueres and Lindgren. So Christina Lindgren, Melanie Cole and Anna Figueres. And the riders behind Miss Cookie at the moment. Miss Cookie going through with 15 laps to the finish.
Yeah, indeed. And that group all coming together now as this group is coming together as well. And look at that Coalition squad bringing that back onto there. Absolutely brilliantly done, everybody. Well done.
Yeah, great to see. They've clearly had some practice on the team time trial. So great to see the Coalition team working really well together, and that's what the gang's about. It's about helping each other out until we reach the trigger point. If you haven't watched this before, the trigger point is 3 times the same word. The first letter of the word is a G, the second letter of the word is an O. Repeat that twice more and you will know what it is.
Yes. And at that point in time, you do not have to follow the instructions of the Yellow Beacon anymore.
Don't have to do anything you don't want to. You can sit and eat cake and drink gin.
You can toodle to the end if you just want a light recovery spin and a bit more banter.
Or you can rev it up and absolutely give everybody a walloping on the way through because you've got so much pent-up aggression. You think I've had a bad day?
Indeed.
You can tell I've had a bad day. That wasn't pent-up energy, it was pent-up aggression.
And I think we've just seen our Yellow Beacon make the first call to lift to 2.5 watts per kilo. So our ramp has begun, Matt. Our warm-up is over and we have started that ramp.
Yep, ramp is on its way. The group in here. Just having a little look. Let's try and get on to some different riders. If I can click the mouse on the right screen. Emma's giggling away in the background because I keep on hitting the wrong screens with the mouse. As you might know if you were watching the show yesterday or have been a member of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, we are on we might be the last week of the Nonnas promotion, but we are on the very first week of the rip out of the studios in the old beer cellar studios here at Full Speed Events. It means that there's me, Emma, 2 screens, 3 screens, 1 chair, which will be interesting when we play musical chairs later because it's on wheels, so some aircon and not a lot else. Normally it's so packed that you can't actually move. You could almost have a party down here to celebrate the end of the WoW DCG.
You wouldn't get very many people in, but no panic.
Yes, you would.
Well, no panic because we are rebuilding the studio.
We are indeed. We have the old garage studios are basically operating on the way through, so there'll be no interruption to the Donny Chaingang, to any of the race clubs, any of the coverage for the UCI, etc. we've got coming up. However, it does mean we'll be coming from a slightly different studio on the way through, but we also will be operating this one as well, just to make things really fun.
Yeah, and making things fun at the moment, we can see the riders swooping around there. We've got Coalition rider just stretching on the back of there, and our Red Beacon back in with the group now. So our Yellow Beacon and Red Beacon in with the group and all rolling. And this group is rolling nicely now, Matt. Really tight, real blob moving through these rollers that are running uphill at the moment.
They are indeed. Let's stay in with Izzy Torrey. Now, we talked about our giveaways to members of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. They are the people who donate for a month or 2 years of the season. And they are the people who have made this happen. Now, there are 49 people who have made this happen, who are members this month, and we've got to say a massive thank you to them. That means that there, in theory, was a 1 in 49 chance at the start of the giveaways yesterday. Now, I'm not going to go through the odds because it was basically a 1 in 48 for the second draw. It's now a 1 in 47 chance this time round. It'll be a 1 in 46 and a 1 in 45 tomorrow. That's as good as it gets. Don't ask for the compound odds because I can't work that out. My maths isn't that good. Believe, and I'm not that kind of betting person. So, let's get the giveaway rolling. We're going to dive onto our giveaway screen. Here we go. You can see the giveaway screen here. Emma's watching the screen down there. That's
I'm
you.
watching
You're
the
riding.
action.
So Emma's watching the action. She's quite literally watching the action on one of the very few screens that are left in this. Is normally like an 8 or 9 screen studio. Occasionally we have like even more. We haven't today, so we're a bit close and personal, sharing this screen. Now, that means that leaves me, which is very dangerous, in charge of the draw and the numbers. So, you can see those numbers are rolling. Those numbers, each one corresponds to a member. If you're a W for Waynetta, you are going to be at the back. If you are an A for Alison Kinlock, you are number 1. So, it's really simple. Dead easy. If it comes out at a number that we've already drawn, guess what? We'll go again until we get somebody who hasn't won a Nonna's run. And it is random. We haven't removed any of the numbers. They're all in there. This is totally random. Emma, you're watching the ride screen at the moment. Can you say to me when the riders hit the line? We're going to let you two. What? Let's swap. You go over that side.
We'll swap.
That screen over there. Look, how magic is this? So over that side, we've got another screen. Don't tell anybody. That side, there's another screen. Emma's going to watch that screen, and we are going to stop the magic number generator when the riders come round and hit the line this time. So when our yellow beacon goes under the gantry, Emma, you're going to shout the words, stop, stop, stop. Okay, you ready?
Oh, gosh, okay.
And that's when we're going to stop the thing. How more random can I make it? You ready? Dum, 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 dum.
We did drum roll.
You missed it.
I missed it. Stop, stop, stop.
No, gosh, no.
Never work with Emma's and Sarah's.
That's a good description. I tell you something. It's in the 30s because we've had 330s now.
No
it's the
way.
1930s, 330s. This is Rob Wimble. Rob?
No!
Yes,
Excellent.
the Rob Wimble. The Rob Wimble. The one and only Rob Wimble, the man who does so much work for the Notts and Derby Cyclocross, has just won £50 voucher from Nonna's. So, Rob, congratulations. We'll let you know at the end of the week how you can claim that when we've done all of the draws. So, brilliantly well done, Rob. Congratulations. Enjoy Nonna's. If you didn't win, if you're not a member, you haven't got the 20% discount. Doesn't mean you can't go. You'll still get looked after. And Stefano and all the gang are superb at looking after you. So, please make sure that you go and make the most of it. We've been there on the In Real Life DCG gang rides. Please make sure you get in there. It is absolutely stunning. Right, Emma, let's get back to the ride before we failed and we missed another queue on the way through. Come on then, get over on your own side of the studio. Right, let's dive back in. No, Miss Cookie, you don't have to stop when the numbers stopped. Okay. I'm loving the fact everybody found it hilarious that you actually managed to miss the unit. Okay, so let's see. Here we go. We are on the way around. We're in with Izzy. We've got the red beacon sitting on the yellow beacon. I'm not quite sure what's going on with all of our riders at the moment. Let's take a little bit of a look on our aerial view.
Yeah, I think we've got a little bit of a stretch going on, Matt,
we've got
coming up
gappage
over that hill. So, so that really tight blob that we had before we went to the draw has just stretched a little now, coming over that brow of that hill. So I bet our yellow beacon's going to put a call out to come back to yellow, keeping it easy, please. Coming out of Izzy, as we know, it is a case of stay around yellow.
It is indeed stay around yellow until that signal. Remember, this is a fast circuit for the WOW DCG tonight. It's going to be a pretty quick ride. We have to let you know of a few other bits and pieces that are going to be happening. There will be some in real life DCG meetups, basically where people who have met on the Donny Chaingang online go out and ride the bikes outside, go to a cafe, eat, chat, see each other, work out what a real person rather than their avatar looks like. You can see how close avatars are. And I'm going to tell you
match the
something.
avatar to the person.
we've mentioned Foxy before, but when you see Foxy in real life, Foxy looks like this. Really does look like this.
Well, I
It's
have to
absolutely
say,
scary.
Sarah looks quite a lot like that as well.
Miss Cookie, aka Sarah, aka Miss Cookie, has had her hair cut, and indeed her avatar changes when her hair gets cut.
It does indeed.
Mine doesn't. That's because it's imperceptible.
And on the odd occasion...
My hair, not just the cut.
Well, on the odd occasion you will see her racing her bike with Platt, because you know what?
Plaits for what? I can't just change. Here you go. We've got a plan. Right. Just taking a look. Tracy just sitting in between this group, just trying to bring the game back together. We are at 14 now, 13 laps to the very end. That means there are 12 laps to the finish. 12 laps to the finish. The notes board is a little bit quiet today, actually. It's maybe not as flat out as it would normally be.
Yeah, it's and I think that stretch on this group have got a few things to do with that as well, Matt. So riders coming back to the yellow beacon now, but still quite a long line of riders off the front there.
Yeah, so the yellow beacon will be ramping it steadily upwards. We'll be focusing on that group in there, so really key to make sure that you follow those instructions of our beacon, our yellow beacon. Of course, the very experienced Izzy Torrey. There is Izzy with a really great racing pedigree, and a very experienced DCG rider, WOW DCG rider, and of course racer on time trial and on the road as well.
And of course, often at this point, if we see this happen on the main DCG on the Tuesday, or the open DCG, should I say, on a Tuesday or Thursday, Russ will often put a call out saying, "I won't let it go tonight if you don't come back."
I know, and it has happened. We have literally shut down the coverage twice, and we've not called it about 3-4 times in 3 years. Do you know, I can't even remember how many years we've done this. It's very sad. This is the end of the third season.
I think this is the end of the... Hold on, let's work this out.
We did 2 years straight, then we had a gap, then we've done another half year through, so we're on the end of 3 years
End
now.
of 3 seasons. 3 years.
My goodness,
Wow.
I was young when we started this. I had hair and everything. My goodness, it wasn't grey.
Matt wasn't grey, he had full set of hair, all his own
I was
teeth.
68, 68 kilos back then, honest.
No, you weren't.
Yeah, more like 88.
Oh, dearie me. 3 years, Jolie. Yep, absolutely.
3 years. I tell you what, you get less for knocking somebody over the head with the chainring.
Honestly.
Right. So the gang making its way down. I just missed a message from the use our wonderful back. Oh, look at that. It's we ain't going to get any faster until we're all together. So there you go. Jolie, of course, we're looking forward to Jolie. National Cricket Series going to be in Newark. I hope you're going to be there. Hopefully everybody will be there. Going to be really, really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's going to be really good to head out and about over the summer. And of course, a number of these riders on the WOW DCG today getting their road bikes polished, cleaned, legs fit and ready, and they'll be out and about racing throughout the UK. Jolie, I will be there. She will indeed be at Newark, and even if you're not racing, those summer evening crits are fantastic watching. So head on down and view.
And I can confirm, we've just been confirmed as well as for the Newark Elite Crit. Also for the Otley Town Centre races, again, really looking forward to being back on the mic there as well for Cole. So looks like pretty much most of the series, if not all the series, will be yours truly. That's Matt Payne. You follow me at Matt Fix Payne on the way through to make sure that you don't miss any of this at Full Speed events. And of course, you can catch up with Emma at Biking Emma. You never know, you might see Emma put in an appearance. You'll have heard her at the Newark Crits last year. You never know, you might hear it again out there. Don't forget, of course, we've got lots of other events going on. We're going to be over in Glasgow for the World Championship, the multiple World Championships up there. We've also got work which is going to be involved the BMX World Cups. Really looking forward to that little bit of BMX. Did you know the National Series of the BMX this weekend is at Gravesend?
Yes, I did.
And do you know how many entries there are?
I do, because we had this conversation earlier, but I won't let steal your thunder.
Well, you just did, didn't you? So much for improvise. Give away the game, why don't you? I don't know. Misses the giveaway spot and then gives the game away. I don't know. Yeah, there are. You ready for this? It is over 1,000 entries. 1,000 entries for the BMX this coming weekend in the That's a national series. I
Well.
mean, it's absolutely massive. It's great to see the support for it. And I'm really looking forward to putting words to the action on those World Cups. I think that is going to be France, the Netherlands, Argentina, another Argentina as well. I think one more as well. Actually, no, I'm losing. Turkey as well.
Yay.
Actually, yeah. So
Sakurai.
Sakurai, indeed.
Same place as the City Mountain Bike last year.
It
Fabulous
is.
venue.
Looking forward to seeing that. Hopefully going to be back with the XCO. Just putting the final confirmations on that. So make sure that you follow us. It's at Full Speed Events for that. Don't forget, whilst you're on, make sure you give Russ a follow. It's at Russ. Down in Russ, of course, will be back tomorrow with the last DCG. The Open DCG on a Tuesday and Thursday is for everybody. So remember, jump on, right on there. A lot of the racing leagues have finished on a Tuesday and a Thursday. So guys, make sure that you jump on there if you're missing your DCG fix. I know Tracy Seeley will be on there. She's probably already in therapy for the fact that she can't do another WOW DCG till September. In fact, it's due to be October. But we have been talking, or maybe you can let us know what you think out there if you're watching this or you're on the message boards. Let's just say, if we were to not start in October, which is our traditional start time now for the WOW DCG, a month after the DCG, would you come and see us and jump on the gang if we started it in September? We ain't turning up for two, let's put it that way. There's a lot of work behind the scenes that we do to try and give everybody something to look forward to and to have fun, but it does involve a lot of effort on our part. So please, guys, make sure if you're going to be in there. Let's see.
Yeah, well, I think maybe a bit of a chat on the Donny Chaingang Facebook page, Matt. We can do that and take a look. Tracy, though, as ever, is keen. We are always, as ever, keen, Tracy, for the in real life Donny Chaingang rides over the summer as well. So hopefully we'll see a few people rounding about there. Now, back to the action, and this is a tight lob again, Matt. Take a look at that around that yellow beacon. So everybody doing what our yellow beacon Izzy is asking. They've all come back to yellow. This is tight. This is a good group, and the group are still moving at 2.5 watts per kilo at the moment and coming up to half an hour in. We
are indeed, and those laps are ticking down as well. I think we may well be approaching half distance at the moment, so looks very, very good. We have a Coalition Fun Bus on the back. That is with our red beacon, and that's great to see. On there, our red beacon, that is the gang in the back. Now, Izzy Torrey going at 3 watts per kilo here, so expect to start to see some more bodies disappearing off the back of that group. And the red bus is not that far behind. There are people all over the road, though. And look at this. It is well and truly a red Coalition bus.
Yeah.
Well, it's burgundy red almost. I know it's pink, but maybe I should just need to change the monitors. Pink. It depends on your monitor settings. I've got mine set so it always looks red for the red beacon.
No, okay.
It's wonders what you can do when you hit the wrong button on the colour settings on the monitor.
We've definitely got 2 groups going now, Matt, because this red bus with the Coalition riders and Miss Cookie is definitely in sync now, and this yellow beacon and this group are well behaved at the moment on this climb now.
They're all coming together. I think everybody realising that we are coming in towards crunch time and distance at some point in the future. When that is, we don't know. In the commentary here in the studios, it's all down to what the red and yellow beacons choose to do, what they do on the ride. So the red beacon, how they use their red beacon duties, whether they yo-yo backwards and forwards or they form a bus early, that's up to the red beacon. Similarly, the yellow beacon gets to choose when to let it go, how fast to ramp the pace, and that is down to them. So it's up to them how they're on the ride. You know, and we do choose our riders with great care in both roles. It's not just please somebody do it. There is a great deal of care in that. And if you want to have a go, please do volunteer. That will open before the next season, so that we have that in advance of the start of the next season. So please, guys, do volunteer and make sure that you message when it comes open Emma, because Emma is the one who stitched this all together. If you message me, I will basically ignore it because I will be snowed under with other emails. Division of labour is key in this studio. I know what I'm good at, and it's not answering emails about red and yellow beacons. That's not what I'm good at.
Well, there you go. Each
I'll
of us
find
has
out
our
what
own
it is.
skill set.
Yeah, I'll find mine one day. Right. Riders are up and around. We are we've got some real regular riders in here. I'm really pleased to see some of our regulars in here. Julie Clark coming in and joining in. Megan Boyd is back in. I think Megan must have been on pretty much all the rides since we started back up. Emma Gilbert in there, Chloe Lace in there, Nina is in. That's got to be an Naomi ride, I suspect. Looks like we've got Park in here. We're just going to try and work our way through, but all these riders are yo-yoing in and around. Sarah Gell in here as well. Helen Backhouse from the Ionian squad. We've got Vicky Jones tucked in at the moment. And I think we have the one and only, the legend that is
Tracy Fletcher.
It is the Max Speed rider in yellow.
Orange.
In orange. Somebody give me a coffee quick. I tell you, I've been needing them. I walked into a well-known coffee place on the way down to the studios today, coming down the M1, and literally almost said the wrong thing. Now, Claire Crabtree got to dash. Thanks, Lee Sweets. Emma, see you next season. Claire, we'll see you next season. And do look out for riders on DCG. There will be rides near you, and there are people meeting up all over the place, right the way from the South Coast. People like Bobby Mason and Andy Hawes and the gang, right the way through the Southwest, all the way up. So there's lots of people doing that. Please, guys, make sure you do keep and have a chat. And thank you very much for your support, Claire. And of course, everybody. If we don't get to say thank you to everybody on the way through tonight, I apologise right now, but it can happen. It's going to be really busy towards the end of the show.
And let's just, we were just literally talking, weren't we, about Tracy Fletcher. Now, if you've come across Tracy in real life, you'll see the World Champion bands on her jersey.
You will indeed, because multi-time World Champion Tracy Fletcher, very fast rider, a coach as well, and an all-round nice person.
Absolutely.
Always smiling, actually. I don't think I've ever seen her not smile.
Oh, I'm deliberately going to set this up now. The next time you see Tracy, she's grumpy.
That doesn't take much time, does it? Most people are. Another of our regulars in with Pip Morn. Pip, another of our regular riders, had the pleasure of seeing Pip at the Clanfield Cross, actually. One of two occasions in the UK when I was actually on the mic in the flesh on the cross, and absolute pleasure to be at Clanfield and at the World's Masters in Ipswich. Don't forget, of course, that Neil from Gritty is my co-host with me, or I'm the co-host with him. I'm not sure which way around it is. Neil's the host. Neil is the man who writes the scripts for the start and the end of the show, therefore he is the host. And Neil, of course, from Gritty, co-host on the Crosscast with lots of great guests on there. Absolute pleasure having everybody on board. Don't forget you can still download those. Go on to at the Crosscast, the Cyclo Cross podcast, and watch out for news. That's all I'm going to say.
There you go.
Not like me to give the game away, but I'm not going to. Don't want to tempt fate. Touches wood very fast. In fact, there's not
a lot of wood in here. It's chipwood.
Oh, hang on, that's wood. That's made out of real wood. That bit. There's not much now. You're quite right. We're deep underground in the studios at the moment.
Yeah, and while we are deep underground in the studios at the moment, this clock is ticking down, you know, Matt. 19.5 kilometres now into this WOW DCG, 33 minutes gone. And let's just remind everyone, the finish line tonight is at 36.1 kilometres with 1 lap to go, because that 19th lap is your warm down.
So we have 8 laps left to the finish line. 8 laps to the finish line. The pressure is on. We're in with Adele Seuss to look at the number of riders who are getting fastest lap times. Time and time again shows you that pace is coming up. 3.5 watts per kilo though. Big call that, Emma.
It is indeed. So our Yellow Beacon calls another ramp to 3.5 watts per kilo, and as Matt says, we're seeing PRs every single time the riders come through that lap banner. So each lap getting faster and faster and faster. How fast can this group go though, Matt? And that is what I want to see later.
It's going to be very quick. It'll be too quick to take any champagne from Miss Cookie on the way through, although I have seen people take your drinks at speed to keel shortcuts on the Supercross. The rough Supercross comes to mind. We don't have one of those on Zwift yet. I would really love if you had to go take a shot of OTE on the way through and you got to shortcut the route. That would be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Now, OTE, that would be brilliant.
Yeah, well, it's a bit more responsible.
Is another matter, because you know those tequila shots on the Rafa Supercross never really hit the riders until they got off the bikes and tried to walk back to their cars, and then it was carnage.
It was. You and I both witnessed somebody actually falling up a wall.
We
was
did.
going up a wall on a downhill over the other side and actually down a big drop. They were all right. They were so numb with tequila they couldn't actually feel anything. Right, another set of personal best times coming through here on the bell lap, and we must be moving well in here. We have the coffee delivery has just come. Freya has brought the coffee down in the studio. Thank you very much, Freya. She not only brings us coffee, she also brings all the paperwork we leave upstairs, or I leave upstairs. I'm the forgetful one of the commentary team down here. And good to have Freya in for the very last one. Freya coming down. Actually makes it to the studios for almost all of the WoW DCG. She doesn't come in for the normal one, I tell you.
Look at that. Miss Cookie is waving hello to you, Freya, as we are here at the moment. So she's... hello back, Cookie.
So looks like the people who know Freya are already in here. Now let's have a little look. We are doing a quick check on this. Well, let's see how fast to go. It's not going to be long before we're going to be round into into the digits of one hand. That's what I'm trying to say. Not single digits, the digits on one hand, because we are already at nearly 7 laps to go.
Yeah, and this is continuing to get faster and faster, and these riders in this group, the group is getting smaller and smaller as we're up at 3.5 watts per kilo at the moment, and this group are motoring really well. It's currently sat at over 40 kph. They are on the flat section of this course, and they're about to come under the finish banner for the next time.
Indeed, and that means if we get our little bit of a camera up, it's 7 laps. Is it going to be lucky number 7 for somebody?
Wow.
Who will be number 7 today? Who will be number 1 today?
Can anybody beat twitchiness in this group, Matt?
Twitchy? I tell you something.
Scared.
It's a good job they haven't got a finger on the plunger. Scared, it says Trace. See, I don't think so. Smashing, says Foxy. Like, loving it. Let's see if it's going to be a smash fest on the very last WoW DCG of this season, the 22-23 season. Going to come to a close. Don't forget, we always have the warm down at the end, so you can say just how much your legs hurt.
Yeah.
Feel free.
Well, that is it, isn't it? So as our lap clock ticks down, our rider's pace stays high. Yellow beacon calls it to 4 watts per kilo. Now that is just mean, as Tori calls 4 watts per kilo up the top of this climb for these riders to push on now.
I tell you something, it could be Tori the Terrible. We've got the Bear, the Boss, we've got the Terrible Tori now. That is 4 watts per kilo. That is, I mean, you just start to see riders are going to start to struggle with this base. Just seeing the seat at the back of this group sailing, just being distanced here. It looks like it's going to be Park on the back of this group. We are going to see bodies. This is where it's going to hurt. It is a drop down into the red gantry, the red archway of the KOM, and then it drops down really quickly indeed. If there is a gap, you are going to know about it. You can't afford to let those gaps go. You can just see Adela Suster squeezing on in there, getting into that gang there. At the back of that pack, Postlethwaite trying to do the same. But this is when things get really hard. Can you hold the pace of the pack until we see that trigger? Now we're going to find out.
Well, it's holding the pace and staying on the back of that group, which is so important at the moment, and it's worth that extra sprint and it's worth that extra power to stay there, because you need to be in that group for when this lights up later, because if you are not on the back of that group, you are going fast backwards.
Well, the tighten your shoes up could be a hint. It could be a case of winding the nerves tighter than a boa can take it. This is where we are going to see, are we going to have the latest in fasting onto the group, or are we going to see it snap off quicker than a boa on the floor? Well, the time is coming. The constriction is on the riders now. Who's going to take it out? We're in with Izzy Tori. 4.5 watts per kilo at the moment is the call. We come back in and around. You can see the pens over on the far side. This circuit allowing us to come in and around, but we're going to take the right-hand turn. And the go, go, go has gone. It is go, go, go time.
Yeah, so the go, go, go has gone, and we've got over 25 riders, Matt, in this group at the moment, as we've just gone at 2:54 for that lap. Let's see how fast we go now.
So here we go. We are motoring on in. The laps are ticking down. the pace has suddenly exploded, and you can look at the gang. It is now well and truly stretched up, and we're on to the climb now. This is where things get really tough if you're in the pack. We're going to ride in with Izzy Torrey at the moment because we know that Izzy's probably likely to make the cut, but look behind that bunch hammer. They are so strung out.
Look at that stretch, and the riders trying to stay with that group, Matt, as that snake now goes round and through the Crit City course, because these riders are not staying, and I think that's Megan Boyd we can see there, who's not made the group. Claire Jessup, Pip Morn, these riders looking like they've not made that group, so that group really motoring now and starting to sweep up riders. In fact, they're starting to lap riders now.
So time to find a group and jump on Claire Jessup, one of our regular riders and a beacon this season. Jumping in, got some company here. So looks like Samantha Profumo in here. We've got lots of riders just trying to stay with that group, but you can see this leading pack is absolutely motoring down here on the way through. Have we got a little bit of a breakaway just starting to happen on the front? I think we can start to see a rider going, and I could put you any amount of money. It is Jo Blackburn who's gone for it. She's gone early. The rest of the group are going to have to try and bring her back. You can just see the camera fighting to stay with Blackburn. That is a long solo effort. I'm not sure she's going to be able to hold that pace all the way to the finish. We've still got a fair distance to go yet.
We've still got 6 kilometres to go, and Jo Blackburn makes the first attack off the front. That attack from Blackburn coming early after the go, go, go. The group piling down on top of her. Look at that shot. It's still such a large group behind Blackburn, but Blackburn is continuing to put the power on the pedals. It's Holly from Coalition, surprise, surprise, leading that group to Jo's wheels.
So the riders coming in and through, going to be only a few more laps to go on the way down. The riders are trying to chase Jo Blackburn down here. Jo's going to take the right-hand turn. She will be the rider who sees that clock tick over on the laps. I make it 5 to go when we get to the line. It
You're
is
right.
5 laps to go. 5 to go now. 5 more laps to go.
So with 5 laps to go, this group all coming back together again. They are reeling Blackburn in at the moment. It's Seeley on the front of that group, and she's getting help from Gilbert. Gilbert is there as well. So this group towing Blackburn back in.
So the group are coming back to Jo Blackburn. That abortive attempt to get in the way has not worked. Good riding there. Let's drop a ride on Jo. There we go. Another one from the commentary team from Timote from Full Speed Events. So here we go. Going to be closing in on the red beacon. My favourite noise. That is the speed of Jo Blackburn going through and past the riders. She's still clear here. They haven't quite made that final catch. Are they leaving her out to dry here, or is this another attack?
I don't know, but I'd like to know what Cookie handed up in that water bottle as Blackburn passed her, because we know Cookie is a master of pit duties and she can hand a bottle up at pace. So what she's given Blackburn in that bottle, who knows?
Well, look at this. The group are across the road. Tracy Seeley, the Terminator herself, is in this back. Looking pretty smooth in here. She was absolutely in pieces at the end of the last WOW DCG. That was on Sanders Poise, if I remember correctly, go through the Fuego Flats sprint. You try saying that after a long, hard day. And the riders on the way in. Miss Cookie said it was a vodka Red Bull. I'll put you money it's not. There you go. Speaking of which, did you see there's new coverage coming out for the mountain bike and new format for the mountain bike World Cup Series? Going to look forward to that.
Who needs mountain biking when you've got esports?
Well, you don't get as wet on esports, that's for sure.
Or as muddy.
Or have to clean everything for bits.
That's very true.
But you do have to mop up the sweat and the Red Bull by the look of it. Now, here we go. Let's have a look. Looks like somebody in that group has dropped a burrito mid-pack. That is going to be really interesting, because if that's the case, it could put a split in there, but it's looking like it's going to. And again, it looks like it's being left to Seeley to do the work here. They come charging round over the top now, starting to lap right, as you said there, Emma. It looks like the gang are on the way in and around. We're just watching Shava at the moment from the level race team come in and through. This is winding up at the moment, and I think we're going to see a regroup until you see another move from Blackburn. I'm not sure if anybody wants to attack Blackburn and take the battle to her. I think that is possibly the only way. Have repeated attacks to then make Blackburn chase. But we all know that it's going to be a tough ask. I think that is going to be potentially Jolie on the front of the gang at the moment. If I get that correct, just going to have a double check.
Do you know, Matt, we've still got more than 20 riders in this group at the moment. So Blackburn, first rider to attack. The group all back together again now, and more than 20 riders in this lead group.
And don't forget, of course, if you are having a tough time a bit further back down through the group, don't worry, the guys on the front are having just as tough a time. On the front, it ain't easy. It is the DCG, and guess what? It's going to run right to the end. We're going to watch all of our riders come in and through the line and congratulate every single one of them. So just watching these riders just riding in, and that looks to me like that could well be a net at the back here, or Saskia, who has just dropped a burrito at the back of the group. That was very considerate.
That was very kind.
It was very, very kind. I'm not sure I would be doing that, I must admit. I think I'll be dropping it right at the front of the group. But this is your leading group. We're going to come into the turn, a tight turn. We head left at the top of this climb, underneath the gantry, then drop down the steep section of the hillside, but looking good at the moment as they come around this tight left-hand turn and line up for the red KOM gantry and drop down. It's Supreme going in this direction, it's KOM going in the opposite direction.
Yeah, well, I think the group have sat up a little bit this lap, Matt, because no PRs coming up that climb this time. So the group sat up. Fastest time last lap, 27:18, set by Joe Blackburn on that climb. And they are not doing anywhere near that pace this time round.
Nope, and looks like we just got a little bit of a squeeze on at the front. That could well be Lisa Elliott of the Fear Squad. I'm just trying to get there now. We are going to say it's really tricky on this one for us to keep up with everybody as they go in and through the lines. If we get it wrong on the way through, apologies. If we don't watch you over the finish line, obviously we don't like you. We love every single one of you. However, we've got to try and keep a track of everybody, and that is not that easy now. Another move on the front here. And that looks to me
It's
like
Cheeseman.
it is the Laura Cheeseman tactic UK. This is the reverse version. They have an ultra bike kit. Did I say that's one of the best kits in the peloton on the race scene in the UK? But on Swift, they're running an all-black kit because it's the absolute opposite of bright.
Well, I tell you what, absolute opposite of bright it may be, but it's the Coalition squad and the Aeonian squad with our yellow beacon Izzy Torrey that have come up onto the front with Laura Cheeseman, and their kits are by no means quiet.
They're not, and I tell you something, they are opening a little bit of a gap here. If they could start to break clear here, we're not seeing a chaser coming at the moment behind, just trying to keep a track on who is where here. Cheeseman is at the front and lead, and I think we are only just seeing a response coming from behind. Now Blackburn makes her way up into this group. We've come through the line. Anybody see how many laps we were to go then? No. Do you know what we're going to try and do? We're going to try and do something really sneaky here. We're going to try and take a little bit of a look back. Can't always do it. Looks like we're going to do it this time.
Oh, and someone's dropped a burrito, Matt, at the front of that group. Now that is a tactic on that climb, and these riders having to work on this climb now. The power-ups are going in. There's some burritos in there, but I can only see one feather. So someone's getting an easier ride up this climb than the others.
Indeed, so 36k is our final distance when we get round to the finish. Let's see who's going to be on the front as they come in and through. The riders going very, very well at the moment. Laps go, Holly. Pass.
We'll give it a call when we get there.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Izzy Torrey's able to count and stay in the leading group. 3 to go. My goodness, that's impressive. It is 3 to go actually as it came through the line that time. It must be because of the maths. Even I could do that, but honest God. So here we go, dropping back down again. Blackburn with the attack going over the top of Cheeseman. She's got that little bit of a gap at the moment behind you can just see Holly from Coalition leading this squad. Now, remember, the Coalition squad, they're wearing those ZRL helmets for a reason. You can see the logo on the side of Holly's head here. They are ZRL winners. They get that helmet because of that ability to race that hard. I tell you something, they're going to need all of their skills tonight. They're up against the Joe Blackburn. They have a tough rider to chase. Looks like Becca just in front at the moment. Just got Holly tucked in there as well. You can see Blackburn is lapping riders as we go in and around. And at the moment, Blackburn has that gap. She's gone solo, but look at the Yellow Beacon group.
And look at them coming from behind, Matt. They are coming and they are starting to move. And the Coalition squad have got it worked out. The Aeonian squad are on there as well. Tactic are in there too. These riders, plus of course Tracy Seeley. Now she's been one of our Yellow Beacons and one of our Red Beacons this season and ever present on the Donny Chaingang.
And don't discount some of our solo riders on there as well. You've got people like Foxy in there. You've got lots of other riders as well. So let's take a little bit of a check back.
And I tell you who is still in here, Matt, and that is Emma Gilbert. Now Gilbert has just got better and better and better with every WOW DCG that she's ridden, and I've never known anybody set more FTPs in a season than her.
No, and we're in with Emma Gilbert at the moment as we go up this slope at the moment. So we are on 2 laps to go. 2 laps to the finish, guys. 2 laps to the finish. And look at that, this double burrito's being dropped at the moment. It's not me at the local Mexican. It's the gang on the way up the hillside as they come up over onto the top of the climb here. They're going to got one more kicker at the end of this little bit of a slope here. It's going to put the pressure on, but at the moment this group are working well. Who is going to take this out? They have their work cut out though. Claire Richardson regularly, one of our fastest riders. Holly from Coalition is tucked right in here, but the rider who's right at the front, we will get there, it is Joe Blackburn with that gap. What's that time gap?
She's got 10 seconds now, Matt, and I think they're going to have to be careful, this group, because if they don't watch this, she's going to be away and she's now going to be clear, because that group are looking at each other rather than chasing Blackburn, who is doing what she does best. She is time trialling away from this group. She's riding at 4.5, 5 watts per kilo, and the chase group are nowhere near that pace at the moment. They're going to have to organise themselves, and they're going to really have to put the hammer down on the front and take turns to bring her back.
Well, we're going to be coming in to just over 3k to go very shortly. That is going to be how far they've got to close this gap down. And we always say the most important time to be on the front is when you go in and through the line. But that gap, if anything, is going out. Tori is chasing here. She's trying to lead this pack up at the moment. But I tell you something, this is a massive ask to get back across to Joe Blackburn, our leader on the road. And that is going to take a lot of doing to close down on Blackburn. She's looking good at the moment, and this group could be fighting for second place now. Well,
I think they could, unless someone else takes a flyer off the front here and chases Blackburn down, because she is tapping away on those pedals at the moment, and it's working for her, you know, Matt. She is out of sight and out of mind.
Out of sight, well, truly, she's gone for a ghost. Look at this. She's off our screens because she's ghosted away through. We're riding in with Joe Blackburn. Basically, the invisibility cloak disappears as she comes in and through. So this is going to be the last round. It is one more lap to go on the WOW DCG for this season. One more lap to go.
So with 1 lap to go, we are in with Blackburn. Blackburn is leading this out at the moment. She's got around 10 seconds at the moment clear of the chasing group. They are about to come round that bend behind her, and it's a huge chasing group. We've got over 20 riders in this chase group, but it is 20 riders versus 1, and that one is Blackburn, and she is out clear at the moment.
So the Tactic UK squad now throwing Nicola Soden up to the front of this race. The question will be for me, has she been thrown up there to chase this down, or has she been thrown to the wolves and won't be able to finish hard at the end? We are on to that last lap. The Terminator is on her way. It is Celia on her wheels. Then it's going to be Izzy Torrey using a ghost, the most useless power-up when you've got a beacon over the top of your head ever.com. And at the moment, these riders are coming through as one pack. Blackburn, though, well on her way round this circuit. She's coming in that tight left-hand turn. As she goes around the turn, you can just about see the yellow beacon group are behind 12 seconds.
Yeah, 12 seconds, and it's Seeley on the front now with Holly from Coalition, with Soden in there as well. Torrey is there, Claire Richardson is there. These riders now, look at the stretch on this group now. This chase group are absolutely chasing hard now because there is less than a lap to go.
There is indeed. The leader on the descent comes off the descent. The chasers behind are working hard. They're trying to get back to her. That gap is not going out particularly at the moment, but it doesn't need to. I think the damage has been done. But this group are coming at some serious pace now. Look at the number of steamrollers that went in on that descent, smoothing out the cobbles and making it fast as they come down. We're in with Emma Gilbert at the moment. But who's it going to take it out of that group? I'm not sure who I would put my money on in a massive sprint. It's a huge group behind Blackburn at the moment, but Blackburn is 2 less than 1 right-hand turn from rounding out the WOW DCG with a win.
Yeah, she's there, and she could make this map. I think now there's still 12-second gap back, and it's going to depend on how fast this group come together to this finish line and whether Blackburn can hold this pace and this speed now for what is about to be 1.2k left.
So here we go, they're going round that left-hand turn, but Blackburn, your leader, is on to the finishing straight here. So it is going to be Jo Blackburn who takes the victory here on the very final WOW DCG of the season.
Yeah, and she does, and the chase is on for the second place as Soden comes over from the Tactic race team, and it's Coalition with the sprint against Aeonian and Seeley from the DCG for third.
And looks like Jones just coming through in that pack. A real huge group of very talented riders making their way in through the finish. Looks like we've just had Emily Britton come through with Tracy Fletcher there, as well as Sarah Gall coming in and through the finish. Remember, we have the final lap as a warm down. We are going to try and work our way back. Emma, I'm going to let you call names. I'm going to try and find riders. How's that?
Well, that's it indeed, isn't it? You take a look back and see who we can pull up. Remember, right map, we are in with Fletcher and Britson. This is their warm down lap now, so that 1 lap warm down after the finish is absolutely pertinent to spinning that lactic acid out of your legs.
I think Park is on 1 lap to go, Lund is on 1 lap to go, Boyd is on 1 lap left to go for them. Our next finisher, I think, may well be Lisa Elliott, who could be our next finisher out on the course. I'm just going to take a little look up in front, but that could well be the case here at the moment as we come through. Lisa Elliott, one of our regular riders on the gang.
Yeah, absolutely. And this indeed is one of those challenges, isn't it, around a short course, so a 2k lap, giving us multiple laps with multiple riders, not all on the same lap. So Elliott here ticking along on that fast bike in that fear kit, coming towards the end of her WOW DCG.
Indeed, fantastic stuff on the way through. Lots of people with not a lot left, and I'm not surprised at the end of that. So Elliott just coming in around through the chicane behind Elliott. I think the nearest rider is going to be Claire Jessup, along with Sam Profumo in there, and Adela Suster. Pip Morn, I think, also on that same point in time, because when you get to 36, that should get you in and through the finishing line.
Yeah, Claire, do not eat your dinner half an hour before doing the WOW DCG.
Yeah.
We should have a frequently asked questions for next year. I think that will be wonderful.
It will indeed. So look at that, Lisa Elliott, the next of our riders in through the finish. The next of our riders could well be Jessup. Now, we have a number of riders on different laps here, just to make our life really confusing, because it looks like Jessup is on her last lap, Profumo is on her last lap, Miss Cookie definitely isn't on her last lap. Neither is a number of riders. So are we going to see that big sprint out? We are. So through they go. And looks like Profumo now, job done for her. Well done. Nina comes in through the line. Big kick on the way through. Joe, what happened to the champagne? Didn't you open the bottle, Joe? You were meant to open a bottle on the way in and through. That looks like it didn't happen that time. We are just going to take a little bit of a dive back because we need to do that just to get ourselves back in with the riders. So Jessup just coming in and through. Jolie, I think Emma's drinking. She should be so lucky. Nielsen in and finished, as has Gail. We're just going to run our way back down. So we come in with Park. Park just coming around that right-hand turn. Just up ahead are a number of riders who are going around to finish their ride completely for the last time. But this should be Park who's going to come around and will finish the ride for the sprint for the line. She comes in and through. Helen back has in and done as well. So there you go. It's going to be Park, our next rider, in and through. Then I think it's going to be Lund and Boyd, our next riders. Very tough course today. I would agree with that with Lisa Elliott. Wouldn't you, Emma?
I think it's actually harder that way around as well. So apologies for that. Maybe I should have done it the other way, so that you had Downtown Dolphin for the last one rather than Bell Lap. But absolutely brilliant. And you know what? Whilst Matt is nodding next to me.
That's only because I actually like it the other way around. Great finish by Lund coming through to finish there with Megan Boyd. Thanks, guys, for being regulars. Good to see Megan back on the bike so well. And they're coming in and through. Just going to work our way down looking for our next finisher. It might be Postlethwaite coming through. I'm going to do a little bit of a check. I think Postlethwaite will have another lap to go when she hits the line this time. And that would mean potentially that our next rider in is going to be our rider on the course at the moment, and that is Aldona Trzaskowska. There you go. That was a very quick check.
It was indeed, wasn't it? So whilst we are waiting for our riders to finish, Matt, I think what I would really like to say before our riders stop their warm down is thank you very much to everybody who has joined us this season. Thank you to all our yellow beacons, all of our red beacons, all of our regulars and all of our new riders. It has been absolutely fantastic to see you all every Wednesday night on the Wales DCG, and it's been a great season. So thank you.
Definitely, and a big thank you to everybody who has ridden over the course of the season. Really makes our day when we see people putting in new personal bests, new times, new recording, new personal experiences, sharing their good times and bad on there, because it is one big family for our riders. So fantastic. Thank you very much, everybody.
Indeed.
So let's try and catch up with our riders who have still to finish and are on the way in. I say that because it's very difficult for us to actually keep a check of everybody. We're just dealing with Sharon Postlethwaite on the way in and through. Got to say well done to Annika. Annika on her way round. Annika has literally, Annika, come on, you're on your last lap now. This is the last lap before the official finish. Then you just warm down for the last one. Going well here. Miss Cookie on her way round. I'm not sure how Miss Cookie has got that mileage and that distance, and I think there's been a rejoin from Miss Cookie,
yeah,
which makes my life marginally more difficult than working out where she is, but there you go. Just working our way in and around, trying not to catch up with the wrong riders here, which means we're going to go back to our dodgy little rider out on the course, because this is often the best way we can work out who's where. Giving away the tricks of the trade.
You are indeed, but it's possible on this last lap here, Matt, with the last few riders who are out and about, all on their last lap now, I think.
So the runners on the way round is going to be Sharon Postlethwaite, who will get that official finish with 1 lap to go when she hits the line this time, while she's making her way in on to that last set of the loop. Please, guys, remember that all this is only possible because you guys have been donating, have been looking after the gang. We've got contributions coming in. A massive thank you to everybody who has donated over the past 3 years. We initially didn't have anything coming in. It was totally Russ and ourselves who were funding the gang. And obviously that wasn't sustainable long term, so we've got to say a massive thank you to everybody who's jumped in and helps us out on the way through. It is really appreciated. We do it because we love bringing the chain gang to you, because we love watching the riders enjoying the gang, and that can only happen with your help. So a big thank you to everybody who has helped us out during the course of the last season, particularly this season. Don't forget the DCG runs Tuesday and Thursday. Everybody can come and ride.
And it's not finishing. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, just as a reminder, do not finish until the end of April. So it is indeed just the WOW DCG on the Wednesdays that are finishing now at the end of March.
So it looks like Sharon Boston coming through. That is Sharon done and dusted. One more lap to warm down, Sharon on the way through. So that's Sharon in and finished behind. I think Annika is going to be our next finisher. Annika from Coalition. I think she's only a second. I can't believe it's only a second. Wow, DCG.
I know.
The Coalition squad bringing people in. A massive thank you to the teams who've supported the gang over the course of the season. We've seen some amazing riders on the WOW DCG. We kicked off our very first one. We had riders who'd taken stages in the very first women's Tour de France on Swift in way back when, with April Tacey joining us, the esports rider of the year, way back when. And Tacey's still not a world circuit. We have had riders who are riding that current World Cup circuit. We've had riders who are riding the World Championships year in, year out, join us on the WOW DCG. And everybody, whatever level, from that to raw rank beginner, always welcome. It's great to see you.
Absolutely, and it is indeed the riders, the camaraderie and the social group and the kick for the finish that make the WOW DCG what it is.
So here we go, Annika in and through the line, shepherded in by the red beacon, just coming in and around there as well. So well done to Annika, who comes in and through the line. And I think that means that we have got Iwinska and I think Figueres out on the course, who are behind our red beacon. I think Sarah disappearing off the course because she's been jumping in and out of the ride. A massive thank you to our red beacon, to Miss Cookie. Emma, I'm sure you've got a few words to say for our red beacon.
Yeah, well, Miss Cookie has been an absolute stalwart of the WOW DCG and absolute brilliant rider, fantastic camaraderie, fantastic social. I was going to say social animal, but what I actually mean was she's just absolutely the queen of the banter on the WOW DCG. She's been absolutely brilliant. So it was the only thing I could think of doing around asking Cookie to be Red Beacon for the last WOW DCG this season. So thank you very much, Sarah, for everything you have brought to the WOW DCG this season.
And of course our yellow beacons, represented today by Izzy Torrey. A massive thank you to Izzy, to all of our riders. Joe Blackburn's been a beacon. We've had people like Joe Tindley being beacons. We've had people, loads and loads. Sammy Stewart, absolute legend.
Foxy, Seeley.
I'm glad you can remember it. I'm struggling through it. We've had so many people helping us out by being yellow and red beacons, and really is important that you guys help out. And it's all part of the spirit. It's all part of helping other people, and it's what makes the DCG special. Now, looks like Iwinska going to be coming in to the line, has got company. As Postlethwaite comes in and through to finish on the finishing line this time. Figueres on her way round as well. But we are going to let these riders finish without us being there and harassing them. So let's make sure we thank some of our key people, and they are the people who support the members of the DCG gang. So if you've enjoyed it, please, guys, don't forget your donations basically help us keep the show on the road, to keep the wheels turning for us, and make sure that we can actually bring you all of that support. The members of the DCG gang who donate regularly, they get the help of these guys. And Nonnas this month have been our headline supporter. Brilliant to see people getting that. Rob Wimble, key cycling volunteer, as well as good rider, great rider, being the winner. And please, guys, make sure you support the people who support the gang over there. Spend your money with them. Why would you do it elsewhere? Come on, best in the business. They look after the gang and they look after our riders. Emma, it's been a great season. Any thoughts to end tonight's show with?
Well, only that I can't wait to be back on a bike and be on the start line in September. It's been great fun in the studio, but boy, have I missed you, ladies. But you have given us an absolute spectacle, and it has been absolutely wonderful. So thank you very much.
So from Emma and myself, remember, guys, make sure you give us a follow. Emma, we can find you at
Biking Emma.
You can find me at Matt Fixer Payne, and you can find both of us at Full Speed Events. You can see it directly below my dodgy head. Just about there we go. So please, guys, make sure you give us a follow, give the Chain Gang a follow. Hopefully we'll see you on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or on one of the other shows that we're putting out, or one of the other commentaries, or maybe even in real life.
On
the
a bike,
real
somewhere.
people. Yeah. Maybe in France, maybe in the UK, maybe somewhere else. Who knows? Going all over the place. So please, guys, stay safe. We will be back tomorrow, or I will be back tomorrow. I think Emma will be taking a well-earned break from the commentary and prepping for a very busy weekend. So I will be back tomorrow for the Donny Chain Gang. We'll be back tomorrow. It is back into Scotland we go. It's going to be lock loop. Make sure you join in with that. Right, if you fancy even more Donny Chain Gang goodness. But from Emma, from me, and from everybody in the Chain Gang, stay safe. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.